Local, live, late-breaking. This is a Wish 2 News update.
Good morning, I'm Ashley Papagni. Time now is 9 o'clock. Here are your top stories. Yes, it has been a very busy day in the case against Casey Anthony. Hundreds of newly released documents revealing possible suspects, lie detector tests, and an investigation by the defense. A Republican candidate for U.S. Congress says, "We want a refund." Candidate Todd Long has filed a lawsuit against current Representative Alan Grayson. They held a candlelight vigil right here last night to remember the volunteer police officer. And the Orlando Magic will face the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But if you want tickets, well, you're out of luck. The crew on board the International Space Station made an unexpected trip outside today. Their air conditioning isn't working. We'll have more local, live, late-breaking coverage coming up on this I-4 investigation. Live in Winter Park, Ashley Papagni, WESH 2 News. Friends and family are still grieving the loss of a loved one this afternoon. They held a candlelight vigil right here last night for the volunteer police officer who was gunned down 1 week ago. Now, even through the unbearable pain, the family is still pleading for justice. This candlelight vigil Saturday night brings back many memories. Domed with rosary beads and photographs, friends and family honor 54-year-old Robert Johnson, a volunteer police officer who worked hard to support his 10 children. His daughter, Amanda Johnson, says her dad was someone everyone could look up to.
He was just a great person. I mean, you came to him in a time of need, he would just be there. You know, he was a great guy from day one.
This was the scene last week where crime tape marks the area where Johnson was gunned down in front of Boswell's Bar on Kennedy Boulevard. Just moments before, his father, Jimmy Lee Johnson, got a phone call from his son.
He called me and told me, said, send one of my grandboys to pick him up. And he said, come now. And I asked him what was the matter. He said he wouldn't tell me what was the matter. He said, come now.
Just after that conversation, he got the news no father wants to hear. His son was shot and killed. The family says they know who did it and just want them to come forward.
We are a family of forgiveness, and we do forgive the person who has committed this crime, but we would like for her to be caught, and we're just hurt, devastated, definitely.
Even with a person behind bars, it will be hard to overcome the loss of a loved one.
It's been pretty bad, because I've been doing all I can to try to keep him straight. And for me by myself, it's pretty hard.
Eatonville police say they do have a person of interest, but that the investigation is still ongoing. Live in Winter Park, Ashley Papagni, WESH 2 News.
Local, live, late-breaking. This is a Wish 2 News update.
Good morning, I'm Ashley Papagni. Time now is 9 o'clock. Here are your top stories. New this morning, we're hearing from a convicted sex offender who's now a free man. At one point, Thomas Spiak faced more than 300 years behind bars. He's accused of molesting a 14-year-old boy and trying to hire a hitman to kill several witnesses at his trial. But through legal wrangling, his sentence was reduced, and this week Spiak was set free. We caught up with him at his new address on West Concord near Orlando.
No comment.
I mean, Mr. Spiak.
Right, no comment.
How does it feel to be free?
That's very nice.
No, I mean, honestly.
Long overdue.
But let me ask you this. I mean, there's concerns that you might reoffend. Do you think you will reoffend?
No, I do not.
Doctors say the 52-year-old is no longer likely to reoffend. Tropical Depression Bonnie gave South Florida its first taste of tropical trouble this year. There was plenty of wind and rain, but good news is no reports of serious damage or injuries. Residents in flood-prone areas took no chances loading up sandbags for a worst-case scenario. And rip currents are a local concern at beaches today. Bonnie kicked up the surf here in Central Florida. In addition to rip currents, jellyfish are also closer to the shore. If you get caught up in a rip, lifeguards say swim parallel to the shore. And covering Brevard County, it's the 60th anniversary today for the first ever successful rocket launch from the Cape. And Dunkin' Donuts is turning 60. Put those two together and you get a big celebration. Dunkin' Donuts in Brevard County will randomly select one lucky person to receive 4 free tickets to Kennedy Space Center's visitor complex and 4 free lunch with astronaut tickets. That's between 10 this morning until 1 this afternoon. Remember, you can get your latest news headlines when you want them. Just log on to WESH.com and we'll be back with another update and your weekend forecast in just 30 minutes.
We're warming up with temps in the 70s today.
We will have your forecast coming up in these last 5 minutes of sunrise. Also going to have President Obama's plan concerning the future of NASA.
And the latest on his push for health care reform.
But we start with late breaking news and Todd Wilson.
That's right. I'm here at the Neptune Bay Apartments in St. Cloud where there's been a home invasion. Actually, it happened at this apartment building on the back side of this apartment here. 3 armed men rushed in, kicked down the door of this apartment here at 2:30 in the morning. 4 people were inside sleeping when this happened. Police say the robbers took some personal items and then took off. A perimeter was set up and a black Chevy Trailblazer was found in a parking lot of a Walmart about a block away from here. 1 suspect is in custody right now. We understand they're searching for the other 2, and they do believe, police have said, they do believe this is drug related. Live in St. Cloud, Todd Wilson, WESH 2 News. Now to Jeff.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office right now investigating an overnight shooting that happened here at the Timberscan apartment complex here in Orange County. You can still see down the street here several deputies here on scene, crime scene investigators looking into this overnight shooting. Now, according to the Sheriff's Department, there was a 22-year-old man who got into an argument with his family, and according to Sheriff's investigators, he pulled out a gun and shot his mom's 57-year-old boyfriend. Then he took off down the street and then fired shots at a 25-year-old girl here in the same apartment complex. She was able to run away and hide. She escaped unharmed. She did break her leg, though, when she jumped out of a window. I just talked to her mother just a few moments ago. This man was tracked down by K-9s here in this neighborhood and did suffer from some dog bite wounds. Right now, he's at the hospital facing several charges. We're going to have much more on this story throughout the morning on our sister station, CW18. Now back to Sion.
A man accused of shooting both of his sons, killing one, will be in court today on attempted murder and murder charges. Deputies say Lindsay Peoples Sr. got into an argument with his sons at a St. Cloud home Saturday night. John Peoples was killed. His brother, Lindsay Jr., rushed to the hospital and expected to survive.
More testimony expected today in the murder trial of a woman accused of killing both her parents. Prosecutors say Stacy Canannon conspired with her brother to kill their mother and father. Her brother, Richard, testified in the case last Friday. He's already serving 30 years in prison for the crimes.
Also set for trial today, a local man accused of shooting the mother of his son and killing her boyfriend. Eric Mota faces 1 count of murder, another of attempted murder. Investigators say he shot the couple while they were driving on the 429 through Apopka in August of 2008. Erica.
President Obama is scheduled to come here to Florida April 15th to talk about NASA and the future of the space program. Of course, this comes on the heels of the president getting a lot of strong criticism for the shutting down of Constellation program that was to replace soon and retire the shuttles. Now, the problem is shutting down Constellation means roughly 9,000 shuttle workers out of work and as many as 23 local jobs affected. Of course, Senator Nelson will be talking this morning at 9:15. He's holding a press conference. We'll, of course, bring you that live details as soon as we get that available. Now let's go to Tara.
Well, President Obama takes his message on health care reform to Philadelphia today. He says Americans are owed a final up or down vote on that bill. Now, not everyone is on board. Republicans say the vote will be toxic because Americans don't agree with his position. Now, Democrats are confident the bill will pass, and the White House is hoping for passage before the Easter break. Jason?
All right, thank you. Local leaders get an update this afternoon on the rail project's plan for Central Florida. The update will include a construction and job creation timeline for the Sunrail commuter system and the high-speed rail line from Orlando to Tampa. Amy.
A little bit of a chilly start in Central Florida. We are in the upper 30s north and west. We're in the mid to upper 40s across the metro Orlando area. 47 now in Sanford, also 47 in Melbourne. But it is going to be a beautiful Monday. We've got lots of sunshine in store. We're headed into the low 70s this afternoon. Cooler along the coast, and then we're headed to near 80 degrees by the end of the week. Kimberly?
We are still seeing some delays thanks to a minor crash near the 429 and the Turnpike. You can still see some delays there on our ePass camera, adding about 10 extra minutes to your commute. No delays, though, this morning if you're taking I-4 or the 408. Sian and Jason.
Who took home the golden statue last night?
We have all the big moments from the Oscars coming up on our sister station CW18. You can check out the winners, the losers, and the fashionistas coming up on Cable Channel 8. We'll see you then. Have a great Monday.